Who else is in? Let me know. We'll get going. Dieter. Yes. Yep. We've had a nice day today, haven't we, Carly? Me and Carly have had a nice day today. Even though we're separated by the equator at the moment, we've had a nice day. Anyway, 10 people watching. Who else is in? Who else is in? Ugh. You're such a cocky little bastard. All right then. All right then. Keep working instead of watching this one. Well, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Fair enough. This one will be uploaded. This one will be uploaded after. Feel free to watch it then. It's up to you, mate. Simon says lovely. Yeah, and we've got 11 now. We'll get going at 20 as we do usually. I'm not arrogant enough to think that we're going to get 30 people at the moment, but hopefully. Tonight's topic's going to be interesting. All right. All right, 1, 2, 3, man. We'll have a good bit of work and get it done, yeah? Check it on the upload. I'll upload it later tonight, hopefully. Upload it later tonight, mate. Who else is in? Post in the chat if you're in, yeah? Who else is here? 12 people. Say hello, Cult Crew. Tom, how's it going, mate? How's it going, Tom? How's it going, mate? You all right? Who else is in? Ian. Ian, don't start, mate. Don't start. I will tell you the perfect cook. I'll tell you how to cook rice properly. Yeah. Tom, yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm in Japan at the moment, which is less than ideal. But I'll be sorting that. Julian, how's it going, mate? How's it going? How's it going? 13 now. When we get to 20, we'll start going. We'll start the chat. Tonight's topic is food, diet, and training, and all that sort of shit. All right. I'm not going to go on some sort of cringy nutrition thing. Carl, how's it going? I'm not going to go on some cringy nutrition shit. We're going to tell you exactly how to do it properly, with none of this fucking fashion bullshit. None of this like, oh, you got to do this and that. Nah, got to do this. Snowing in the UK. I'll tell you, it's going to be snowing here tomorrow as well in Japan, mate. So it's snowing in Yorkshire. Hey, whereabouts in Yorkshire are you, Tom? I used to live in South Yorkshire. I lived in Sheffield for years. I don't sound like it, I know, but I was. Yeah. So we're going to talk about how you actually eat when you're riding your bike and no bullshit. We're not going to get all fancy. We're going to give you the fucking lowdown, how to do it simply and cheap. Leeds. Yeah, I've been to Leeds loads, mate. I used to go to the Orbit in Leeds. Yeah, that was good. Leeds is all right. I think Sheffield's better, though. Oof, controversial. 17 watching. 17. When we get to 20, we'll get going. We'll get going. Who else is in? Who's in? Let me know. Post in the chat if you're in. Don't be shy. Good one of the days it is, mate, yeah. I was a mountain biker back then. Then I spent years as a BMXer in the streets of Sheffield. That was good. Skate parks. Yeah. Skate parks are lols. Cycling Bear. James. How's it going? 18 now. Yep. How's it going, Cycling Bear? You all right? James, you all right, man? Revising for exams. You're better not be a child. I nearly got in trouble for grooming Chris Hansen before, didn't I? James, another James, raining from Wiltshire. How's it going? Dieter Carlita, you are naughty. Yeah, it's raining in Wiltshire. Tom, mountain bike, BMX, and then a bit of enduro. Yeah. It's good. It's a good career path, that. Mountain bike, then BMX, then road. That's how it goes. You become a rounded, complete cyclist like that. University exams. All right, good. Good. So you're street legal then, James. Good. Not that I want to bum you or anything. And I wouldn't let you bum me either. Not into that. There's only one person who bums me. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Yeah, good career path, that. Mountain bike, then BMX, then road, because it makes you a complete cyclist. If you just do road, you're a fanny on a bike, generally. Dieter Carlita is indeed an endurance TV binger. I've never witnessed anybody being able to watch so many TV shows in a row as this woman here. It's fucking incredible. I don't know how she does it. Like, it's just on and on and on and on. Fuck's sake. Fuck it hell. All right. Goals. Yeah. Fucking. The internet's mad, isn't it? The internet is mad. And young women are... All right. Anyway, we've got 18 now. All right. We'll get going in a minute. We'll get onto the topic of the day. All right. Get on the topic of the day. Yeah, 20. Here we go. We've got 20 people. We've got 20 people. 20 people. All right. So, fuck me. All right. So what we're going to do is... we are going to, if I can concentrate after that, we are going to talk about diet. All right. And we're going to talk about the internet is mad. Yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, man, it's fucking mad. The internet is mad. So we're going to talk about diet and how to eat properly when you're training hard. And also I'm going to tell you about that sounds a bit fucking pontic, my journey through getting to where I am at the moment from a number of years back. So I can tell you like all the mistakes I made, all the stuff I did right, things I noticed with my body, things that, went well and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it might give you some hints or whatever on what to eat, or you might just go, I know that already, mate, shut the fuck up. Either way, whatever, lol. We're going to swear a lot, as usual. So probably the advertising money for this thing is going to get cut. But do I give a fuck? No, I cunting well don't. All right. So here we go then. We'll start off first by I'll just tell you like what happened to me. So when I was young, when I was in my teens, I was fit as fuck. I used to ride my mountain bike around the home counties in England. I was doing like downhill races and racing, doing cross country and all that kind of shit, like really fucking fit. Went to university, carried on mountain biking there, was fit as fuck. Then I did BMX, still fit. I was just like riding every day, getting really fit and strong. BMX takes more upper body, doesn't it? So I had overall fitness and I was always slim and fit. But I never really, I don't think I was eating properly during that time because I was just a young lad and I didn't really know about food and stuff. So I was just eating crap all the time. But it turns out, like thinking back, I was mainly just eating sugary stuff. So it could have been worse. I could have been eating like just steak all the time. So I did that. Then I moved to Japan and I got unhealthy, right? And then I got really unhealthy and I turned myself into a junkie. And then I recovered from that. Did I recover? I got off it. And then that was 5 years ago. So what I wanted to do, but during that time, I used to go to the gym. I used to do like weight training and stuff. So I got into like all that fucking protein, not so much, but like a bit of fucking protein and all that sort of shit. I took, now they were not illegal at the time, right? It was this thing called M1T, which is like a pro hormone. I did that for a bit, which is roids. And then I got fucking really, really ripped off that. And then I was eating loads of like just fucking chicken all the time. And then I didn't really get sort of super fat, but I put on weight there. Then I really fucked myself up and decided to, then I got clean after that, right? After I got off the old drugs. And then that was in 2012, right? And I'd already bought a road bike in 2010 and I rode it around a bit, but I wasn't really training. Well, I definitely wasn't training. I had no idea about like real good nutrition and like, because I wasn't pushing myself that hard. I didn't need to eat properly. But around 2011, 2012, I started sorting it out, right? And I basically went on a 5-year mission from 2012 to now, 6 years now, to turn myself into the hardest fucking shredder of all time, right? And I achieved that, but it took a while, and it took a lot of trial and error on the old diet and stuff. So I'm going to tell you all about that now, what I ate and what I was doing right and wrong, and what sort of stuff affect me. Then we're going to get into like fine details about like how, like when you're on a ride, like when to eat, what you should be eating, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and all that kind of crap, and like stuff that I'd learned just through my own investigations, really. Did I race? Yep. And then I'll I don't know, answer your questions about shit, or then you can just tell me I'm wrong. All right. Now, what we're not going to do during this in the chat, I know you lads are all fucking cool, right? But what we're not going to do is we're not going to go, well, actually, you're wrong about that nutrition thing throughout the chat, right? Because it's an endless debate, isn't it? Everyone reckons they're right and everyone reckons everyone else is wrong. I'm just telling you what I did and what worked for me, right? And you can take from that whatever you want, all right? That's how that goes. If you want to ask me questions about it, that's cool. Don't worry about that. Yeah, fucking hell, 27 people. All right. So here goes then. 2012 got clean. Then it was, I didn't really know much about nutrition for endurance sport. I had a basic idea. I knew what like protein and carbs and that kind of shit was, but I didn't really know how it worked, and I wasn't fit enough to like know how it would affect my body because my body was still fucked up. So I didn't really know what was happening at what time and like what affected me. So what I did was I made myself a little training plan in 2012. Started doing that, and it was basically, you know, going out 3 or 4 times a week. Did you plan to get to the level you're at 5 years ago, Julian? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I'll get into that later, mate. I had no. Right. In fact, I'll get into it now. I had no fucking clue I'd be this fit 5 years ago. I had no idea. I assumed 5 years ago when I started sorting myself out, I thought all I wanted to do, right, 5 years ago, was be able to get good enough to keep up with other people I'd go out on my bike with and not be last all the time, right? That's all I wanted. Because I used to go out and just get fucking flogged by even, like, I was shit, right? But I still went out, which is, you know, all right. But I was crap. And then I just wanted to be good enough to sort of be mid-range in that group I used to go out with. I surpassed that, beat that, became better than all of them, and fucking just went berserk, basically. And then I, you know, just found new people to ride with, new harder people, and all that kind of stuff, and just went out and fucking spanked it. So no idea. Oh, hang on a minute. Carly, is she all right? Listen, yeah, my bike is in Australia at the moment, all right? And yeah, there's 2 women in my life, yeah, and they're both sitting in the fucking living room in Melbourne at the moment. Yeah, she's all right, is she? Yeah, that's good. All right, she does miss me. I miss her as well. Anyway, so yeah, I had no idea, mate. So what I did, I started training when I first decided to do it. I made a little Google Drive training plan for myself, which was just like riding 3 times in the week, Monday to Friday, and then on the weekend going out on a sort of group ride. Yeah. This is domestic bliss between me and Carly. It's domestic bliss. All right. If any of you in the market for some not being grim all the time, get some domestic bliss. My friend who's got a Russian name, I can't pronounce that. I can't read that. Could you write it in like the Roman alphabet, how I say your name? Because I feel bad not saying your name, mate. And I'll say that from now on. I'll learn it. Can you bring the watt kilo progression through those 5 years? I can, yeah. Well, I can do it for the last 2 years because that's when I've had a power meter. But I'll get to that in a bit. I can definitely do that, yeah. And I can give you sort of an idea of what I would have been back then as well, based on my current experience. Yeah, I can do that. That's cool, man. So what I did was fucking focus me. I made a little training plan for myself, and I stuck to it. Which one do I miss more? Carly, obviously. I can buy another Cannondale, right? I should probably make a joke about riding both of them, but I'm 38, mate, so whatever. Banana cyclist. All right, banana cyclist, man. Oh, well, welcome. I'll answer your question once I get further down, but yeah, I'll keep it in mind, mate. So yeah, made a training plan for myself and just stuck to it. But in terms of eating and diet, I didn't have a fucking clue. I was just eating whatever. I would eat like just literally whatever. I'd go down to the convenience store and just buy like a pizza for dinner, and then I'd have, you know, for breakfast I'd eat just like some fucking cereals and milk, and then I'd go, when I start riding, I'd go out and start feeling a bit sick and a bit hungry, and then I'd like go to stop at a convenience store, because in Japan it's all convenience stores everywhere, right? I stop at a convenience store and just buy some bread thing and some yogurt and a bit of fucking fried chicken and that before I stopped eating all that sort of thing. And then I would just eat that. I didn't know like when to eat, so sometimes I'd eat it and I'd feel sick and I want to go home, and I just didn't have a fucking clue. So my fitness started getting better, but my eating was crap. I didn't really know what to eat. I didn't know how to do it, right? And I didn't know what I should be eating, and I didn't really get any fit. I lost weight. I definitely lost weight. And my first year of sort of proper training on a bike, 2012, in that era of my life. I made loads of progress, fucking loads of progress, right? But I was nowhere near what I am now, and I'm nowhere near what I could have been if I'd actually known what to eat and know what to do. So I did that whole year, basically just eating what I wanted. Like I've read a few things like, you know, you want to like eat. There was all this sort of bullshit when they're like, you got to eat, don't eat 4 hours before you go for a ride. Don't, you know, all that fucking shit. I tried to sort of heed some of that, but I couldn't stick to it, and I didn't know what to do. So that first year was a bit of a mess, like in terms of eating and stuff. And I did lose weight, but I was still like, even though I was riding and I wasn't like weight training and stuff, I was still sort of like, I was still like 69 kilos, 70 kilos, 69 kilos. And looking back at pictures of me then, I was slim, but I was sort of like, I suppose you could call it like almost like skinny fat, you know, like I hadn't like developed the real muscular fucking physique that I've got now. It was just, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if that was like, whether it was because I hadn't put that many kilometers through my legs or my body. Bad vegan, I'll get to that later, mate, about all the little minute scientific stuff, but yeah, I'll get into that. So like, I didn't really know what to do with the eating, so I just sort of, I don't know, I just sort of winged it really. Got to the end of that year, right? And so this is when I've made my first big mistake, right? So I went through the year, and so Danny, I'm just doing a sort of vague overview at the moment, then we'll get into details, yeah? So I went through the year, and I did lose weight, and I got really, not really fit, but I got fit, right? I got pretty good. And then, you know, I started being able to go up climbs a bit better and stuff, and I managed to like not be last, and I got all right, you know. And I was sort of, I started riding with like faster people and be able to keep up with them and stuff. And I'd never like be the first up a climb or anything like that, or, you know, I'd always like be in the middle of the pack. But I got stronger, you know. There were a few times when I did quite well, and I lost weight and I felt good, but like looking back, I was nowhere near what I could have been. So then that happened. That whole year was all right, but I didn't know what to eat. Then I got to like, what was it? So this would have been like 2013 to 2014. No? Yeah, 2000. Fuck, I can't remember what year it was. But like the end of the first year, I decided to have a rest because everyone was saying like, oh yeah, you know, if you've been riding all the time throughout the year, you need a bit of a rest time over winter, which, I mean, looking back was sort of bullshit, but I just assumed it was. Then I just sort of laid down and I started fucking just eating. What was it? Like, I hadn't really considered veganism or anything like that at that point. I sort of didn't know what it was. So I started like just ordering pizzas in. Right? I thought I'd have like some pizza and stuff, you know, while I'm resting. I started eating this pizza. It was fucking mad. Like, I just stacked on weight. I must have put on 5 kilograms over that winter of like a month or something, right? I just fucking just got fat, not fat, but I just like put on weight. And because I hadn't like done as well as I could have done in the first year because I wasn't eating properly, and I was doing that thing where I sort of feel a bit sick on rise, and I couldn't really go in hard, and I couldn't repeat, and I wasn't recovering properly because I wasn't eating the right stuff. I didn't have like giant amounts of muscle. I didn't have a real strong base of fitness. So I just like got fat on it, and I just would look, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I still look slim, but I wasn't like fucking real athlete, you know? So I thought like that was a bit depressing that after that first year. I thought I'd put in so much work in that first year of, you know, sticking to it. And obviously I was clean as well, you know, but then to get to the end of that first year and then like just bang a load of pizza and it just sort of get fattish again. It was a bit of a fucking pisser. So I was like, all right. So I got to like the next year, and then I thought, right, what am I going to do then? And I desperately wanted to get back down to the weight that I had got down to. And I think my lowest weight during that year was about 60. It would have been like 66 kilos, right? But with not a great deal of muscle. So I thought I was like super fucking slim and fit. But actually looking back, my body fat wasn't as low as I perhaps thought it was, and my muscle wasn't as good as I thought it was. I was still decent, but it weren't that good. Anyway, so what did I do? I started the next year again, slightly feeling a bit miffed and thought, I've got a bit of work to do here. So I got back on the bike, started riding again. It was hard to get going again with such a long fucking break, which was a bit stupid of me. And then I started eating. What did I start doing? I cut out all the pizza. I stopped getting that. I decided to stop eating cheese, right? Stopped eating cheese and then started like slowly cutting things out. And I noticed like when I stopped eating cheese, I started to drop weight. I seemed to start dropping weight and I seemed to sort of feel like I could complete a ride without like the last 10, 20 kilometers being hell. Very weird. It was almost like it was sort of overnight, really. When I cut out cheese, that seemed very weird. I still had this thing as well where I was like, I don't know if any of you have spent 7 years on drugs that are really, really, really bad for you. But when you get clean, you fucking crave sweet stuff. I don't know if it was like my blood sugar getting all leveled off or whatever, but like I was fucking fiending sugar. I'm 177 centimetres, mate. To put it into context, yeah, 177 centimetres. So I started fiending sugar a lot. So I used to go down the convenience store and just buy bags of fucking like muesli and pour milk on them, like just regular cow's milk, and just cane it like at night. I didn't really sort of put on weight there, but I'd like wake up the next morning with like feeling like my mouth was dry as fuck, like I'd gone through some sort of like diabetic shock in my sleep or whatever. I realised that was a stupid thing to be doing as well, so I stopped doing that. So when I stopped doing that with the cheese, when I stopped doing that with the milk, I started sort of slimming down a bit. I started getting a bit of definition on my body, which was interesting, right? Internet cafe crew, yeah, fuck that. Oh, hello, eat plants, anyway. Have I said hello to you? Anyway, whatever. So I started getting a bit tighter in, right? And I also noticed like and obviously this was my second year, right, of training. So I was getting a bit stronger as well. I'd done a whole season and I'd been going pretty hard. The second season was like, I was seeing how far I could push myself again, and I started getting stronger again. And when I cut out like cheese and milk, I was still eating loads of bread, and I was still eating meat a little bit, I guess, but not as much. And I started feeling a bit better. I started being able to go out harder, but I still felt like I wasn't as like super slim as I wanted to be as that kind of doing that kind of cycling and stuff. Bad vegan man, I'll get into my current physical state at the moment because I've gone through a bit of I'm doing something different at the moment with my training and fitness. I'll get into that later. I'll get to that later. You'll laugh, but yeah. So you know, the second year I cut out cheese, no milk. And I started slimming down a bit, but I was still a bit bigger and I was eating this meat and stuff. So I thought like, well, I don't know, like I just thought like, what can I do? Like I was always eating quite erratically. I was always hungry and I didn't like, I had no sort of routine. It was always different things I was buying and I never sort of knew what to eat. I thought, how can I like regulate this so I can like go to the shop and get the same thing every time? Because I'm of that kind of mindset. Like I wanted to know like, if I'm going to go on a big fucking bike ride, I want to know what to eat in the morning, how long to wait in the ride before I start eating again. And I went to like work out how to do it, how my body works. So I actually went on a bit of a mission and I started looking at like, you know, what does your body need as fuel? And it turns out it's fucking carbohydrates, isn't it? Right. So I thought, right, I started like the first thing I started doing was just like banging a lot of bread in the morning. But when I was doing that before a ride, I started getting like stomach ache and like, oh God. And it just seemed like the same thing again. So I thought, right, fuck it. I'm just gonna start eating rice. And I thought, well, I'm in Japan, so I might as well eat rice. Started buying big bags of rice and started cooking them. When I started eating rice, yeah, and that was like halfway through the second year of me riding, like this hard training period. When I started eating rice in the morning before going on a ride, it was like a switch. It's just like that, bam, complete difference. I had none of this sickness. I had no sickness in my stomach. I didn't feel like I wanted to go home because my blood sugar was all up and down. I didn't get this sort of like, ugh, feeling like sort of 50k in. And I started really looking forward to the ride. So what I'd do is I'd wake up in the morning and I got this Japanese rice cooker thing. They're really good. And I would eat just rice mixed with something like just a tin of tomatoes or just literally just eat the white rice, which fucking Carly finds horrifying, right? It weren't about eating more, mate. It was about eating the right thing for my body. So yeah, rice, yeah, exactly, right? So I started eating rice, and that was fucking mad. Like overnight, I felt way better. I felt way better. I felt cleaner. My body felt cleaner inside. I felt like I wasn't sort of weighed down. I didn't get this sort of like, not bloated, but like sort of stomach, like sickness when I was riding. Because before, like when I was eating bread and all that sort of shit before a ride, I'd go down to where I was meeting the group, and that was about 20k, and I'd always get like sort of 15k and like sort of, oh, I feel a bit fucked, and then like have to sort of talk my way through it. But when I was having rice, it was just straight in. I felt way better. Felt way better. All right. All right, Jonathan. What kind of rice? This was literally just Japanese sticky white rice, right? I'm of the theory that it don't really matter what fucking rice you eat. Rice is rice, in my opinion. Like, brown rice is probably better for your digestive system, right? And I find that I like the chewiness of brown rice, but fucking rice is rice, mate. Whatever, who cares? So I started doing that, and that was good. And then I started like figuring out like what do I need to eat? What do I need to eat during the ride? So I was still I may have had an allergic reaction to bad vegan. I may have started like trying to figure out like what to eat when. So I did this test ride. Have I looked outside? No. I did this test ride where I decided to like go and ride until I was like properly hungry without like eating anything to sort of top myself up. So I went out with no food, had a bit of rice before I left, and I just did a ride. And then I was trying to figure out like when I'd start to get hungry. So it actually worked out to be about 30 kilometers in, which was about just an hour, I guess, like of actual time passed. Not 30 kilometers per hour average. I'm not a fucking pussy. So it was about an hour in, and I went and bought something, ate that, and then the next day I did it again. Turned out about an hour in, right? So I'd worked out like, right, I need to eat some rice in the morning, right, before I leave, and then about an hour in I'm going to need a bit of food, right? So I did that, and then I sort of moved on and then figured out what I need. You know, when do I next get hungry? When do I next get hungry? And I worked out how my body reacts. I also did this for different kinds of riding. You know, like, do I need to eat more when I'm climbing? Do I need to eat more when I'm on the flat? All that kind of shit, right? Descending. So yeah, that was pretty good. And I sort of trial and errored it, and it worked out like that. The things that I observed were that I could eat. I wanted to eat as much rice as I could before I left the house, but obviously I could overdo it. If I had too much food, I'd feel as bad as if I didn't have enough food. It had to be about right. So I worked out my right level, and for me it was like a cup's worth of rice. So like 200 grams of rice cooked, and then 200 grams of dry rice cooked and then eaten, right? Which seems like quite a lot, but if you have it just with nothing or with tomatoes or whatever, like it sits in your stomach. And then about an hour in, I'd have some sort of sugary bread thing. So I found that like after I'd warmed up, I could eat bread without feeling sick. It was only if like I was warming up through eating bread that I'd feel horrible. So I'd have like some sugary bread thing, or a sugary rice cake that they have in Japan, but like something with like a load of sugar in it and carbs. And I'd have that about an hour in, probably like 300-400 calories, and then just keep going. But as the ride progressed, the interval when I needed food would become less and less. So I'd sort of like, it would be like an hour for the first bit of food, then it'd be like 50 minutes for the second bit, and then like, 30 minutes, whatever. I'd start doing that. So I had to sort of figure that out and work out, exactly how much I needed based on the distance I was going, right? So after a while, I really fucking narrowed it down. I really got it. So I can go out for a ride now. I can look at the distance and how many, what climbing and stuff, and I can put the exact amount of food in my pocket that I need, and I know that it's going to be good for me, right? So generally the food that I would eat on the ride is just sugary stuff with either bread-based or rice-based, okay? That's it. I never eat any sort of protein stuff on a ride. I occasionally, right at the end of a ride, get a craving for like deep-fried, salty stuff. Not meat, but like some sort of deep-fried vegetable thing or something that they sell it. Something like that. Especially at the end of a ride, but never in the middle. I did actually experiment before I went vegetarian, vegan-esque, of trying to eat meat, like fried chicken and stuff in the middle of a ride. That was a fucking mistake. That was horrible. I was just like burping and tasting it. It slowed me down and all that fucking shit. Rice cakes, mate. Rice cakes are the fucking best thing to ride with. So that was it, really. And then I went into like my 3rd year, my 4th year, my 5th year, and just stuck with that system. And it just fucking paid off. And I got fitter and fitter and fitter and stronger and stronger. And just was going through it really fucking well. And I got to turn myself into a fucking warrior, right? Absolute fucking beast. Just did it. My body transformed as well. You know, like my waist came right in, so I got like, you can see all the lines down into my groin, see the veins and all that. My legs got more ripped, my upper torso, when I was really slim on my upper body then, so I was just like really fucking slim. My jawline, I didn't get no fucking fat under my chin or anything like that. Slimmed right down, really good, and I felt clean as well. My skin got better. I used to get, when I was a teenager, I used to get acne all over my back. Really fucking bad. I reckon that's partially the stress of my young life and my shitty diet. And I still had a bit into my adulthood. I still get a bit now. But when I sorted my diet out, that really dropped down. So that was good. So that was basically it. That's the overview. And that's what I eat when I'm on rides. So I reckon that's all you need to eat on rides. All right. What you eat becomes fuel to burn fat and less get stored. Well, yeah, I guess so, mate. I guess so. You've got to fuel yourself to go through it, haven't you? Right? You can't just, yeah, exactly. Right, Julian, that's a good question. Did I stick to this diet on the days you weren't riding? Well, as I got fitter and stronger, God, that's good. Yeah, just eat a bit of spaghetti out of your pocket. As I got fitter and stronger, the days when I was not riding were few and far between. So actually, yes, especially like 2015 to 2016 and half 2017, my living reality was riding. So I was literally eating like this basically all the time. On days off, because it had become such a habit of eating like this, that's all I would do. I wouldn't change my eating on days off. No, I'd wake up, have some rice. When I was hungry, have a couple of rice cakes. I'd have more sort of like, I'd eat a salad and I'd eat like, I might eat something that's actually made, right? You know, all that sort of thing. But yeah, that became my living reality. So no, and I didn't sort of like cheat and binge on stuff that I was craving, because I wasn't craving anything other than that. Or I wasn't craving anything because I was getting really fit and just, you know, that was just my daily reality. So that was it really. So yeah, but like other stuff that I noticed about when you ride and when you eat, some observations I've made and written down. Carry a whole watermelon in my jersey. Nice. I carry an entire German sausage down the front of my cycling shorts, mate. That's cycling shorts. That's my excuse anyway. Right, some stuff that I've noticed, some tips that I've got. Would you say it's healthy despite being good for cycling? What? Someone answered quirk QT. I don't know what he's talking about. Sorry, mate. Some tips and observations I've found. Right. When you start getting elite at sport, food is fuel. All right. So you just basically need to just forget about it tasting nice. All right. This can have a knock-on effect though when you get back into society after a couple of years of being an absolute hammer lord, in that you don't know how to eat anymore apart from fuel. So you get funny looks from people when you get a loaf, when you just start eating bread out of the packet with nothing on it, or just eating rice out of a rice cooker with nothing on it, while they're expecting some sort of, you know, prepared thing that's got a name that is more than the sum of its parts. You know, you get over that though, don't you, darling? Other stuff. The warm-up time is not affected by the food you eat, but you have to take that into account. I'm gross, apparently. All right. Right. So everyone's got a warm-up time on their bike. My warm-up time is 41 minutes. It starts to kick in at about 37, 38, and I feel myself getting better. But mine is, when I get to 41 minutes and I've been riding properly, bam, I'm warmed up. All right. If I eat before that, for some fucking reason, it throws me off and I feel like shit. All right. So you need to know your warm-up time. Arguing in the chat. You need to know your warm-up time. Don't eat within your warm-up time, and take note of it and see how you react. I'd say probably don't even have a sugary drink in your warm-up time. Like you can't speed up your warm-up time. I think it's just like you're hardwired to it, right? No matter how fit I am, if I'm really peaking or I'm like here, whatever, my warm-up time's always 41 minutes. I don't know why. I don't know what the science is based on that, but that's just my observation. Next thing then, I find that if you're doing a ride with a lot of climbs, and you're actually a good climber, or you go hard as fuck on the climbs, and they're long climbs, all right? Not like little sheet ones, they're like proper fucking mountainous climbs. You've got to be a little bit wary about flooding your liver with sugar, right, when you're doing it, because there's been times when I've had too much sugar before a climb. I thought I was putting loads in me so I could get through it, but it flooded my liver and I started getting real sort of cramps. All right, and before any of you say anything, I've had my liver fucking scanned after being a junkie, and it's all right. Okay, it is now. It's all right now. So it's not that. I find it's easy to flood your liver with sugar if you have too much and then do some sort of climbing and stuff. All right. So yeah, be wary of that. I think steady amounts of sugar as you're about to go up a climb is better than banging loads of it and then just sort of doing it, because you'll get all cramps. Yeah. In terms of stimulants, what are the symptoms of flooding liver? It's just pain, mate. It's just like a cramp. It's like cramp. All right. It's like a cramp in your fucking. It's a cramp in your liver, right? Yeah. Yeah. Other thing. And the cramp when you flood your liver with sugar, it takes fucking ages to go. It's when I've done it, when I've made the mistake of doing it, it's taken me an hour and a half for it to clear out, and even then I can sort of feel it like that, you know. So be wary of that. Don't bang too much, and just do it steadily. You can't, if you put too much sugar through your body, I don't care what anyone else says, you'll flood your liver with it, and it ain't good, right? It ain't good. You especially if you exercise, and you'll feel fucked, all right. Next thing, stimulants. I don't know. I'm a bit of a cunt with this. Someone will tell you, but when I was training really, really fucking hard, it was like Red Bull and painkillers I was doing. Bang a Red Bull and take a few painkillers, and then wait for a bit, and you can go up a climb. I've seen the error of my ways with that. So in terms of like stimulants and stuff, I'd probably say like leave them towards the end of the ride just to get you through the last bit if you're really fucked. Doing the whole ride, starting a ride, I always found like if I'm going to do stimulants, I'll do them at the start of the ride and then don't have any when I'm on it, and just use that to fucking get me in and get me going. Or if it's a really fucking long ride, then I'll do it towards the end when I'm sort of really fucked on the way home. All right, and then get a groin injury. Yeah, a groin injury. Painkillers. Yeah, I did actually accidentally fuck my nut by having too many painkillers, not being able to feel my nut, and then riding wrong and getting a groin injury. Yeah, as Dieter Carlita has correctly pointed out. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a couple of observations. In terms of like the way your diet affects your weight, right? This is an interesting one. I found that when you first start getting fit, it's easy to put weight back on, right? When you first start getting really, really fit. So I think you've got to be more mindful of your food, the food and your weight at the start of your journey of getting super fit. So now for me, so looking back at my previous example, 2015 I was caning it, 2016 I was fucking going berserk, half 2017 I was very good, right? And then Then something happened, and then someone happened, and I didn't do as much riding. From, I'm going to say, basically October until now, I've done a bit, and I've gone hard a couple of times, but I've not been putting any kilometers in. However, and my current physique, we'll talk about a bit later on, but in terms of my actual body fat, I haven't put on as much weight as I did, even when I did the first year and ate all that cheesy pizza. All right, so I reckon I have been eating a load of different foods and stuff. I've been dragged around loads of different vegan restaurants and eating all sorts of stuff, and you know what I mean, like, that's not a complaint. But anyway, I think like the further you get into your fitness, the more you can get away with food, in terms of, like, you know, you don't seem to put on weight as quickly, because I think like your general, I don't know how this works, right? I could be fucking bro sciencing it a little bit here, but I reckon when you get fitter and fitter and fitter over years and years, I think your metabolism's faster, is it? I don't know how that fucking works, but whatever. My observation is that the more I'm fit, right, and I'm going to say I've been very fit for at least the last 4 years, right? 5, I'm going to say, right, in the grand scheme of things. And I've been extremely fit during 2016 and very fit in 2017. Like the more I stay at that level, or approaching that level, the more my body, I can sort of eat what I want and stay all right. Yeah, so that's it really. Metabolic flexibility. Yeah, I mean, guys, you'll know a lot more about it than me. I'm just literally saying what happened to me. I'm not going to even pretend I understand the science behind it, because I haven't Googled it. But there you go. So yeah, so I think in terms of like diet and weight loss, if that's your concern, just go consistency. Go through at least a few years, seasons worth of extreme fitness, and then you'll set yourself up for, you know, at least a few years after that, if you don't want to, you know, go as hard, or you want to maintain of decent fitness. I think, like, almost, again, bro science here, but it might be why like little kids who run around and who are like pretty slim and that sort of stay slim for life, and fat kids don't. Possibly, I fuck knows, mate. I'm probably just blathering on here, but I reckon it's something to do with it. Yeah. Another thing, like, if you're doing a really hard ride and you've got a load of climbing involved, say if you've got like 3 big cunts, right? Like over a thou, whatever each, and all that kind of shit. I think like the timing of when you eat before those is often a little bit, so you've got to pay attention to. I've sometimes, as well as like drinking or eating too much sugar and flooding my liver, I've actually eaten too soon before the start of a climb. So like it was digesting and going through me as I was like getting into it, and that really sort of fucked me a bit. Whereas if I eat before and give myself, say, 25 minutes, 30 minutes before the climb starts for the food to sort of go through me, right? And maybe, I don't know, 20, 25, 35. Then when I get to the climb, I'm all right. Again, it depends on how long the climb is and stuff. You've got to be really fucking tactical with it. So yeah, that's other stuff I've noticed. So my biggest mistake was probably not understanding, it was in the first year, not understanding that even though I'd put in a fucking year of work, I still wasn't ultra fit, because that's like, my base wasn't there. You know, even though you can do one hard year and you can look fit and stuff, but your base ain't there. Like, you know, it does take like, it takes half a decade, I reckon, 4 years to really get fit, you know, and then set your metabolism up and stuff. If I was going to do it again, I would go straight on the rice in the morning diet, and I'd go straight on the sort of sugary thing, right? Stims, yeah, it's caffeine essentially, mate. Yeah, stuff like Red Bull and all that kind of crap. Coffee, yeah. I'm clean in terms of all drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do any narcotic. I'm nothing. I'm clean. I can't do it. Right? I'm off it. Right? There's no way. I just can't do it. So I don't do anything. The only thing is like caffeine and stuff, which I guess is still a drug, makes me a hypocrite, whatever, but I just can't do anything else. So that's it. in terms of my actual what I'm doing at the moment, all right, and things I've noticed with my body at the moment. When I broke my neck, I was very fit and slim, and I was definitely pure cyclist. All right, I was pure cyclist. I had a slim, lightweight. They might do, yeah. Slim, lightweight upper body, strong legs. All right, slim. I'd say I was like I was an all-rounder, leaning slightly towards a climber's physique. Right, all-rounder, leaning towards a climber. Very strong, good rider. But then broke my neck, and I sort of got that sort of, I don't know, what did it do? I just sort of didn't want to ride as like I was riding before, because I was 38 when it happened. When you fucking break your neck at 38, right? Riding your bike, you start to fucking ask yourself some questions, right? Especially when you're alone. I've been through this, man. Been through this. I was like, you know, that's it, bad vegan, mates. That's it. So I thought, right, well, I want to stay fit. I want to stay really fit, right? Because why waste it? And I like being really fit. But I thought I'd want to get into. I wanted to like get into sort of all-round fitness, which meant perhaps balancing my physique off a bit. Yeah. I'm not going to watch that video you just sent me just yet. So I thought, right, and a passing comment by you know who made me think, like, right, pure cyclist week of piss off. Yeah, I reckon so. So I thought, right, I'm gonna try and like, I'm gonna start going to the gym a bit, right, and I'm gonna start like doing some upper body stuff, right, which was actually fucking good, because I used to do that. I used to train like fuck in the gym. I used to lift weights and cane it and all that kind of thing. I was fucking pretty big before, but I had too much body fat. But then like starting that again, but with like 8% body fat or whatever, right? It was good, because I started this. When did I start this? When did I start getting into that? October. I hate gyms, mate, but lucky for me, I've got access to this gym where no one goes. It's just an empty room full of weights and nice equipment. I don't ask me how I've managed it, but I just do, right? So I started like going to the gym and just lifting fucking weights and stuff, yeah. And I like when I right. So again, it was 8%. I was pretty fucking slim, right? Carly will tell you how fucking slim I was when I turned up in Melbourne in October. She'll tell you how fucking slim I was, right? I was extremely fit, but I was very slim, right? So like I thought, right, I'm gonna try and go to the gym, right? And then go to the gym when you have very low body fat is a fucking fantastic blank canvas, because every little bit of progress you make just fucking sticks out like fuck, right? Because there's loads of people who go to the gym and like are always going about like want to strip down, lose weight, like bulk, strip down, cut, bulk, what do you call it, like bulk and cutting and all that kind of shit. I had nothing to cut. I was starting from scratch, and I was very, very like endurance fit. So I started going to the gym and just lifting weights, and I fucking made loads of like ridiculous progress really quickly.